A great work was being done by Sutherland and his friend Megan. They had labored entirely to start a school that would be an honor to God and the mission in Berrien Springs. But envy filled the hearts of some of the faculty and church conference leaders. Many became dissatisfied with the educational blueprint that Sutherland had followed. They missed the comforts that were at Battle Creek and wanted to return to the worldly method of education. Some did not even like the fact the Bible was placed above human philosophy. One thing that really made the people upset was when Sutherland plowed the tennis court at the school and turned it into a garden to promote practical work. As a result of the resentment against Sutherland by some of the faculty and church leaders, there was a division. The college board recommended to replace him, but his friend Megan and Ellen White came to his defense. But the opposition continued to grow from the church conference, and the time came when they resigned, not because of any evil they had done, but because they had held up the blueprint. This could have been a great disappointment to Sutherland and Megan, but they pressed forward on their mission to see an educational center after the order of God established. These men did not sit back. They immediately set out on a trip down to the south. They arrived in Nashville, Tennessee, and talked with Ellen White and some others on starting a new school. Ellen White encouraged them to go and look for some property. So they set out on the river in the boat, the Morning Star. The Morning Star was a boat that Edson had set up to minister to the oppressed black community in the South. The boat was used as a school, also as a chapel, among many other things. This mission was a great blessing to the black people in the South at a time when racism pervaded. Through this work, 50 schools were started, a hospital, and a publishing house. The boat had been used for many years, but as they were going along the river, the Morning Star boat broke down, and they were forced to dock the boat. Now, while the boat was being repaired, they had some time to look at some property. They were at first looking for a place that was a bit in the mountains of Tennessee or in the western part of North Carolina. They were also looking for a place at least 50 miles from the city, but God was leading them to the right place for this new school. Edson White had seen a large farm available called the Nelson Farm, and they wanted to see it, but when they saw it, they were not very impressed with it, except Ellen White. The property had 414 acres and had a listing price of $12,000. They went and compared this property with many other places they had visited. Ellen White liked this property for several reasons. First, it was already a farm and had much of the needed equipment for farming. She said, "I felt so thoroughly convinced that it was a favorable location for the work that I advised our brethren to make the purchase." When others had seen the farm, they were not so convinced and looked a bit more for some property. But they went and looked in vain and were at last convinced that this was the right property. This proved to be the right location for the school, being not too far from Nashville, and at the same time they had so much property that it created a buffer from any suburb development that might have wanted to build around them. This also proved to be the perfect spot for the hospital that was to be built later on. When they agreed to buy the property, the owners wanted to sell it for more money, so they rose the price to $13,000. A compromise, though, was made, and they bought the property for $12,723. They had bought the property, but just to get the property to the point that it was usable was going to require a lot of work. Starting the institution was not going to be an easy task, but they went forth in faith, and an institution after the order of God was established.